Hi everyone, it's your girl Zimbo Down Under. Before I get into the video, I'm just going to tell you who I am. So my name is Tanaka Lily, and I live down under, so that means I live in Australia, down under, but I am from Zimbabwe, hence the name Zimbo Down Under. And a lot of people in the comments, they've been telling me, why don't you look for beads here in Nigeria? Why don't you look for beads here in South Africa? Why don't you look for the beads here in this place? Thank you so much for all your suggestions. I did go overseas for the holidays. Obviously, I couldn't travel the whole of Africa. I went to a couple of countries down south. And so today I'm going to show you what I managed to bring back. Oh my God, I will be doing more beading videos because now your girl has the beads. Okay, let me just open this up for you so you can see. And I might put my bag, I was gonna put it on this side. I might put it on this side just because it's easier. It's actually quite heavy. I can't lift it, so I have to just slide it. So this suitcase, I ended up buying this in the mall where I got the beads because, child, beads are heavy. This suitcase is about 25 kgs. Just this suitcase with beads. So I had to, yeah. Anyway, so your girl finally found the beads that she has been looking for, and I'm just gonna take them out and sort them out, and then I'll explain what is, because I think I got 3 sizes. I think where are the sizes? I had to put some of them in this glad wrap plastic because they were leaking and they're really small, and I didn't want to be the one cleaning up after like spilled beads. But these are quite a lot. They're gonna carry me through for a long time. I'm actually looking forward to doing some beading workshops. So if you're in Sydney, just look out for like posts when I do some workshops. I know a lot of people have been asking me to do some live workshops, so now I can finally do that because I think I am quite well stocked to actually do workshops. So let me just take everything out. See, this is what I mean. They're coming out. I don't know where they're coming out from. Okay. So these are the beads that I got. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but trust me, these are a lot. And they're quite heavy. These are the beads that I normally use. These are the beads that I use like on a regular, and they make this necklace, the one with the really small beads, the smallest size. And now I have the bead size, so I can actually tell you. So the beads, it says 12/0 glass beads, and there's a code number. I don't know whether that's of any help, but each color has a different code, so I won't even go through the codes. But I got this in different shades of blue. I could only find this green for this size, white, red, orange, and then these 2 browns. I would have liked maybe a lighter shade of brown in between, but I couldn't find. This is all I could find. And then this pink. This pink is the only one. It looks quite glossy or pearly. I think pearl is the right word. The rest are solid. This one is pearl. And I bought all these beads in South Africa. I went to China Mall. I braved myself. I went to China Mall, but unfortunately I did not feel myself walking in China Mall because people told me you can't walk in China Mall with a phone. Filming is just gonna attract the wrong kind of attention. But actually, while I was there, I was like, I should have just brought my phone. No one really cared. Like, it was so chill. I don't know if you live in South Africa. Tell me, is it dangerous to walk filming in China Mall? Please tell me, because I was told by people and I followed people's instructions. Never again will I do that because I really regretted. I only had one chance to go there, and I just went and I grabbed these beads, and then I grabbed this bag. Okay, so that's this size. This size is just a little bit bigger. However, it says, I think it's 2 sizes bigger because this is a size 12. This one, it says size 8. So I don't know, it goes down. I don't know, I don't understand. It says 8.0 glass beads, and it's exactly the same as these ones. The 8.0 glass beads, I only managed to get these colors because that's all they had, so I took 1 of each. I really wanted to take 2 or 3 because they were so cheap, but they were quite heavy, and my husband was like, I should have gone by myself. He was like, nah, we're not doing that. Anyway, so I just took 1 color each, and these ones are more heavier than these ones. This is more heavy. This is orange, but this is quite heavy, and this is lighter. But with this one, it makes this necklace, if you remember, yes, So I'm super excited. I'm gonna be doing a lot of projects with these beads, and I can't wait to start. So you've been asking for a lot of tutorials. I'll be bringing you all the tutorials I can find. Now I'm just gonna pack this away, and I think I need to get containers, so I need to count how many beads I have and how many grams. Oh, before I pack this away, let me just tell you the price. It is so cheap, guys. Just one packet of these beads costs 35 rand, and by 35 rands I can see that there was another price before, so that means they actually increased the price because it was Christmas. I don't know if that's the thing. 35 rands is about 2 Australian dollars 50, which is about $1.80 in US. But let me just count how many. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I bought 10 packets times 35 rands, and 35 rands is, I'll put it up here. Okay, and then these ones, they were different prices. So let me see, this one was 49 rands, and then the rest, for some reason, the rest were 39 rands. So 39, 35, 39, and then just this one color was 49 rands. I think this is the most popular color. Yeah, so it's the only difference is 2 rands between the two sizes, and then this one, the difference between this one and the rest of them is 10 rands. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors. So I'm super excited about that. Can I just pause for a minute and just acknowledge how all these beads that I've put back in the suitcase cost me less than $50. So that's less than 50 Australian dollars. That is so affordable. I've been struggling to find beads. Although I couldn't find all the colors, I would have liked to find all shades of yellow, all shades of blue, all shades of green. But now I know where to get beads. Yeah, anyway. And the lady there also was a bit, I don't know, because it's China Mall, the people that sell are Chinese. So the lady was Chinese. And they were a bit like, oh, you have to leave all your bags, because we had bought quite a few things. You have to leave your bags at the door. And I'm like, but there's no one at the door. Like, how are we leaving our things unattended? So finally, my husband decided to stay outside the shop while I went in to buy the beads. And then when he saw that I was taking too much, he's like, nah, don't take too much. And I was struggling to carry it. I'll also show you some things that I bought while I was in China Mall. So in the same beading shop, I managed to buy these, and this was the only thing they had, which is really sad. So it's a little, what do you call this, pendant, and it says Africa, and I'm gonna be doing some necklaces with kids, so this is really good. And it says there's 100 in here. Oh, okay, it says 60 pieces, so there's 60 pieces in here, and it was 60 rand. I also managed to get these, which I use for my earrings. So if you don't know, I also make clay earrings. So I use these hooks, and I didn't know what size this was, and now I know that it's jump ring 0.9 or 0.8. It says 9 and then star 8, I don't know. And this was 90 rand for 500 grams. So I think that was quite cheap. I also managed to buy, okay, some of this is not from South Africa, but should I show it now? Because I'm going to show you the other things that I bought in Africa. While I was in South Africa, I also bought this. So I like this. I actually like this. I used to see people with this, and I thought this was expensive. It was actually not that expensive. It was within my budget. And I bought this in China Mall. It comes with a what do you call this, clutch? It's a clutch bag, and it's beaded. It's beaded throughout. And this was roughly, I think, 350 rand, and it's got a hole here, but I can't seem to put this through the hole so that I can clutch. You know what I mean? So that I can actually use it, but I'm gonna figure it out. I'll figure it out. But it's quite cute. I also bought myself a belt, and this was about 80 rand, I think. 80 rand. Is it 80 rand? I think this was 80 rand. And this is the way that I pack my things to travel with. I put cling wrap so that everything stays in shape. But this is actual animal skin. And the belts in Africa are very strong. Like, I've had a belt for a long time, and then this is the actual belt. Look at that. That is so cool. Like, I can't wear it now, but I'll be wearing it soon. And it matches with my clutch. I was trying to find colors that kind of match. I should have bought 2 of these. Now I'm regretting, because they had a red one, which was also nice. But anyway, it's fine. Maybe I can make myself one. Maybe we can make this. Anyway, so this is another thing that I saw and I liked in China Mall. Quite cheap. While I was in Africa, I also bought some beads, which I won't show you. It's a different size, so this is the bigger size. They're from Zimbabwe. I'll show you in another video. They're not in this bag, they're in a separate bag. So this is it for now. We're gonna go into the second part of my video where I'm gonna kind of answer your questions. All your questions about my beading style, beading technique, the thread I use, the beads I use, the needles I use, blah blah blah. All of that is in this video coming up. If you like my content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hi guys, it's your girl Zimbo Down Under, and I'm here to answer your questions. So I've been getting a lot of the same questions, and I've decided to just do this video to answer your questions and just tell you the kind of products that I use, because people do not read the description box. People do not know where to find the description box, but I'm going to help you out today. So I've got my phone here, and one of the most asked questions is, what is the string used? What is the thread used? Good morning, what's the name of the thread you're using? Nice video, can you please tell me the name of the thread? Wow, I really want to make this, can you tell me the name of the thread? So for the majority of my videos, I use this is nylon thread. So nylon thread, they come in many sizes, so they come in many sizes. I obviously, when it's affordable, I buy the big one, but when I don't have enough money, I buy the smaller one. So this is very expensive thread, and it is very fine, like it's very small, and you cannot break this even with my teeth. You can't break it. So that's why this is preferred for making things like necklaces or belts, because you know once you use it, it's gonna stay put, right? So this is the most, like the highest end, the most expensive thread you could buy. There's many different types of nylon thread. Of late, I've been using the Fireline. Before, I used to use Beadalon, but the shop that I used to buy Beadalon from in Sydney closed down during COVID, so I can't find it anymore. And I'm not going to buy something online and then get it shipped from America and pay like $40 shipping, when I can just buy this one and use that $40 to buy two. Okay, so that's my issue. This one is by the Beadsmith, but you can use any nylon thread that is basically, it says here, microfuse braided, okay, I'll hold this up, microfuse braided bead thread. So this is beading thread, and then this one is just 6 pounds, this is 8 pounds. So this is more, no, this is 50 yards and this is 125 yards. So this one was more. Sometimes the weights are different. When I look at it from the side, you can see like this one is more nylon-y, and then this one is more fabric-y. I don't know if I'm explaining it. They're both crystal. I have no idea. But anyway, this is what I have been using of late. Before, I used to use Beadalon, and it's exactly the same. Okay, so if you can't afford this, they're cheaper threads. So this one is from, I don't know where I bought this actually. It's online. It says fancy glass bead. Anything that's for beading. And this is a beading thread. And then there's this one as well. So these are all from the same place. I can try and link where I got this. It says beading thread. If I can focus. Wait, is it upside down? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll just put one. So it says beading thread, and this is also nylon thread. So it's similar to the other one that I showed you before, but this is finer. It's very fine, and I like this because it comes in many different colors. So you can get it in blue, you can get it in white, you can get it in black, you can get it in gold, whatever color you need for your project. Okay, and on that same note of thread, you can also use this. This is also nylon thread, but this is a thicker nylon thread, so it's very thick, and obviously you can't thread this into a needle because it's too thick. It won't go in. See, it's too thick, it won't go in. It's quite like thick. This was not expensive at all. I use this mainly for like my anklets or my chokers or whatever stuff that you can do. You can actually make this without a needle. So that's what I use this for. And if you live in Australia, or I'm sure anywhere, you can actually buy this. It's the same, it works the same as this. So this, everyone knows this, and this is for fishing, and it's very cheap, very, very cheap. I think this whole rim from Kmart, it costed me $5, and I've been using this for a while. I think I've been using this for 2 years, and it's, you can see one side is finished, but the other side is still there. So it's also fishing line, and this is the one they actually use to catch fish. It costs $5. Yeah, and I think this one, which is more, it has more, this one I think costs $8. This, and I know this will last me for a long time. Okay, so once I've finished talking about the thread, because you're all asking me what thread I use, I'm also going to talk about the needles. So I have two types of needles. Obviously you need whatever needle you need one that says beading needle, because it will be thin enough to go in the holes. So some needle, like regular needles, will not go through the hole of a bead. For example, these beads, they are very tiny, so if you put a regular needle, it won't go through the hole. A beading needle is very tiny, it's small, and it will go through a hole. See here, it says larger holes for easier use, so it will go through the smallest of holes. And this is a Japanese seed bead, which is the smallest bead, which made this necklace, the seed bead, the small beads. So you can actually use this needle to make this necklace. Also, when I make this necklace, I do not want a needle that's small. So these needles are standard size, they're like small in size. This needle is long, so it's a beading needle. As you can see on the top here, it says beading needle, and then it says the size of the needle. These needles are long. When I compare it, I have two of them here. So when I compare it with this one, you can see that it's as long as this container, actually, the container that has the bead in it. Yeah. So these needles are pretty long, and they are great for using the loom, like when you're making the choker part, because you can go in and then you can come out, and you can make this length quite thicker. Can you see this length? You can make it quite thicker using a long needle rather than a short needle, because a short needle will only allow you to make a certain number of lines. I don't know if I'm explaining it well. I also use a beading loom. Sometimes when I make the choker part, this choker wasn't made using a beading loom. I can show you how to make a choker like this from scratch. So here's an example of something that I made using a beading loom, and I use that for my Isicholo hat, so my Zulu hat, and you can see the picture here. I can show you how to use a beading loom. So if you're starting up, this is something that's good. And I also use this beading loom to make these pilot wings, which I turned into a designer necklace. I've also made a few videos that show you how to make a loom by yourself, because this is actually not expensive. No, this is actually not cheap. So if you can't afford to buy one, you can try and make one yourself, test it out, and if you see that you're good at it or you want to invest in it, then you can go ahead and buy the expensive loom. I invest in all my stuff when they're on sale, okay? And then now we'll get into the beads. So with my beading, when I learned how to make beads, I learned using these beads. So these are the thick beads, or the bigger beads. These are really good for beginners. If you're starting out, do not go for this type of bead. Do not go for the small beads, because you're gonna get frustrated. This takes forever to make because it's got tiny beads. Whereas if you go in and you use these bigger beads, and they come in a whole heap of colors, different colors, so you can just make something like this. So this is also a necklace, and it's quick and easy to make. So this one, for me, if I do this, it will take me about, because I know how to make them, this will take me roughly maybe 2 to 3 hours tops to make this. And I'm just gonna take off my necklace, so I'll show you what it looks like. So this is just a basic standard necklace that I made one day, and I think I made it while you guys were all online, and you've seen me making this from scratch. So this is what it looks like, and this is achieved using these beads. These beads also make the belt, which I have shown you how to make. So I've done a video showing you how to make this belt, and you can see that the belt is made using thicker beads, which is these beads. So that's the same size. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. I've been struggling to find beads. These beads are very hard to come by. When I've bought them online, I've bought them, so they're called, okay, so I have the size of these beads. They're called 6mm opaque acrylic round beads. That's what the beads are called. I've got them online, and this packet, and it says it has 100. Now for you to make something like this, you need a lot of beads. This packet has 100 and it costs $4. It costs $4. It's pretty, for me, I think that's expensive, especially if you want to make it to resell. How many dollars do you need to make that, and then how much will you charge? And then also, if you're going to make a matching belt, how many dollars will you need? Okay, let's do the math. So here we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 25. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80. So this triangle, just this triangle, has about 100 beads. And how many white triangles do we have? We have 2 white triangles, and then we also have some white beads inside. So roughly all the colors have roughly 2 triangles. So that means you need at least 3 packets of these for each color. That's quite expensive for me. The next type of beads that I like to use, they're called Miyuki beads or seed beads. So Miyuki is like a Japanese name, I think, for the beads. And there's different sizes of Miyuki, am I saying it right? Miyuki beads. So this is what I've been buying online as well. It's also not cheap. This is $4, around $4 online. And with the shipping and everything, oh, it's so expensive. And there's 100 as well in here. Like these beads makes this necklace. Oh, okay, it popped right out. Okay, so these beads make this necklace. As you can see, this is a good size. Look at the colors, guys. I really like this necklace. This was my favorite. Oh, well, it wasn't my favorite. It was my second favorite. Okay, this was my favorite. It was my favorite necklace. I like this because it's light. It's not too heavy. This one is obviously heavier because the beads are thicker. They're bigger. This one is, I think I'll say mid weight. It's not too heavy, and I can just wear this to work. A lot of people ask me, how do you wear these necklaces? I just wear black. I like to wear black or white, and then I wear this, and then I put a work jacket on top, and then I just go to work. So I like this. It's very beautiful, very colorful, especially now that it's cold, it's rainy. I like to bring in a bit of color, even though I like to dress in grays, blacks, or whites, just plain colors. Yeah, this is really nice. This necklace, as you can see, from start to finish, I had to put a second loop, as you saw in my other video. So the second loop, which is the orange one, that one, so that when I bend down, my necklace doesn't droop. So these beads as well, they also make this. And one thing that I need to talk to you about is, when you make beads, make them your own. You don't have to follow anyone's design. So if you like shells, you can put in a bit of shells. So there are some shells that I've incorporated in my beading. Where is it? There we go. And you can buy a packet of shells for like $2, and it comes with quite a lot of shells. So they're like that. When you do buy shells, make sure the shells you're buying are very tough. So I like to, when I go in the shop, and I don't care if people are going to judge me, there's some very cheap imitation shells they sell in the store. So if you want to test to see whether these are good shells, whether these are going to last on your beaded stuff, you hold the shell in the shop, and then I just squeeze it. I give it a good squeeze, and if it doesn't break, I turn it and then I squeeze it. If it doesn't break, that's a good shell. So normally I just go on the packet, and don't judge me, because I'm not going to spend my money to buy something that's fake. I just hold like one shell in the packet, and then I squeeze it, and then if it breaks, that's it. I'm not taking it. If it doesn't break, you know you've got a good packet. If you want, you can try it with a few other shells as well, just to make sure you've got a good batch. And if it doesn't break, then you can get the packet of shells. So that's how you incorporate things like shells. So this one, you can wear it as a choker like that, or you can wear it as an anklet. So I think this one, was it an anklet or a, oh, I think this one was an anklet. So it's an anklet, and yeah. Next, I'm going to talk about other seed beads that I've used. So this is my go-to from where I stay, I shop at Spotlight. They sell these, and these are both seed beads. They're different sizes. These ones are smaller and these ones are bigger. Maybe let me turn around. Okay, I'll show you on the front because it shows the size. I don't know if you can see both. It shows the size. So this is 3 millimeter seed beads. This is 2 millimeter seed beads. These are solid color and these are pearl color. So it's really up to you. If you like pearl colors, which I do not advise, because pearl sometimes they peel and then you get a two-toned color bead. But I wanted them for specific things, so I had to get this. I prefer the solid ones and I prefer the small sizes. So I'll show you this one. It made this necklace and I mixed the blue. So this is the solid blue and the pearl blue because that's the look I was going for. And I'm just going to put this on. And this is what it looks like. So you can see this necklace, it's the lightest. It's the lightest because it's using 2 millimeter beads. 2 millimeter beads, and these are the same size as these ones. It's the same size, but this is just a plain necklace with no choker on it. And this one and this one are exactly the same size, even though this one appears to be longer. See how it's longer? This is because this one is using 3 millimeter beads and this one is using 2 millimeter beads. So I just wanted one tone because I like wearing my blues, my denims, and I always wear this with a denim jacket. These beads, the solid color, also make this. So if you know what this is, it just goes on your head. I can't really put it on. Well, I can, but it's gonna ruin my hairstyle. But it just goes on your head and stays like that. I hope today I've answered all your questions about beads, beading, threads, needles. The next video I'm going to show you is beading techniques. I know I've got a few questions where people ask me why I wax my thread, why I do certain things, why I start with a loop. I will explain that in the next coming videos. Thank you so much for joining me. If you still have questions, feel free to put them in the comment section and I'll respond as soon as I can.